So the secret sauce.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. If you're willing to share it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a little bit different. Everyone's got a story to tell. A lot of shops that have been super successful for many years have a really amazing story to tell about their history and their shop culture and their values. I mean, let's face it, our industry has a little bit of a reputation issue. People do business with people. They don't really do business with businesses. What we do is not rocket science. It's something that everyone should be doing when they get up in the morning going like, yeah, I'm going to work, instead of another, well, I have to go to work today. That's a bummer. Customer testimonials are the goal.
The most powerful form of marketing is word of mouth. You always think about, okay, how can I market and get more customers? But you need to be able to support those customers with the right people. Thank you everyone again for being here with us for another episode of the Lift Your Shop podcast. And today we're doing something a little bit different. As you can see, we're not having a shop owner on here with us. And I know a lot of you probably are aware of who this is, but Patrick Egan, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thanks, Kelsey. Appreciate it. It's great to be with you.
Yeah. And so we're really excited. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about video marketing in particular. I mean, yes, there'll be some marketing elements we talk about, but definitely focus on video marketing because Patrick is the owner of Spark Interactive. And so Patrick, though, do you want to give us a little bit of background in terms of kind of how you got started in this industry, and then a little bit more background on Spark in particular?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I've been I've been a marketing geek for 30 plus years, and I guess that's dating myself a lot, but having run marketing for Fortune 100 corporations, where I ran a $300 million division of a huge corporation down to my own startups, and for the past 10 years have been running marketing for some notable companies in the auto business, Kukui and Auto Vitals and AutoServe One, and yeah, just having worked with so many shops around the country and hearing these amazing stories about why you're a little bit different. Everyone's got an amazing story. Everyone's got a story to tell, but a lot of shops that have been super successful over many years have a really amazing story to tell about their history and their shop culture and their values that showcases why they're just different than the discount guy down the road. So that's why I decided that it was a great opportunity to get out there and help them share those stories with their customers and their prospects. And it's just amazing. I feel privileged to be able to walk into some of these shops every day and hear these amazing stories and help them share them.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that connection that you're now able to make between the shop to the community, because I mean, that's what they do every day, but no one really sees it or gets an ability to appreciate it the way that we're going to talk about in terms of video. So yeah, as a high level portion, that's the general question is, why, in your opinion, is video marketing important?
Well, I mean, let's face it, our industry has a little bit of a reputation issue. And you don't know when you're looking for a shop to go to, unless you've been there before. I mean, mostly now people will whip out their cell phone and look for I need brakes for my VW. And everybody's got a great website, thanks to wonderful guys like you. Everybody's got a great website out there now, and a lot of them have a lot of stock images, or maybe they've got some photos of the guy up at the front of the counter, but you don't really you can't really get a grasp of that culture and their values about what's going on in the shop. You don't really see, you can't put a name to a face. And so there's two pieces of that. People really want to make a connection with the people they're working with. You've heard this whole know, like, and trust thing. People do business with people. They don't really do business with businesses, and they do more business with people that they know and they like and they trust. So being able to make a connection with someone right off the bat, you begin to know them and like them and trust them. And there's been studies out there. I mean, gobs of people, Forbes and there's all kinds of people who've done studies about why video does better. And it's mostly because people have a really short attention span now. People are something like 800 times more likely to watch a 30-second video than they are to read one sentence about the exact same content. letting somebody read it to you, and it's engaging and interactive and that type of thing. So yeah, video is certainly the future of marketing. I mean, you can see it in TikTok and Instagram, and everyone does reels now.
Yep.
It's not even anymore a post with a pretty picture. It's I've got to have action. I got to get content. It's this constant strive to get authentic content out there. And so what's more authentic than a real video of real people telling their stories about why they got into the business, or why they love going to that business, or why they love working at that business. So there's three aspects of that is really kind of combined together to make a really compelling story about why I should use video to market my shop.
Yeah, no, and I think you explained that perfectly in terms of just why video is just so relatable these days. Because you can read as many words on the page as you can, but I mean, it's hard to get the tone. Like even like when you see a text from someone, it's hard to see if they're really happy or they're really upset, or maybe they use one exclamation point versus five. Like it's hard to understand that. But when in a video, you can see their facial expressions, their personality, everything there. That it kind of leaves a lot less up to your mind to make up what is the truth or not based on versus words. So I think what you're doing is definitely a great thing. And so if you want to actually explain a little bit about the process of what you do in terms of creating this story for them, because obviously it's not a thing you show up, boom, tell me your story, boom, and leave. It wouldn't be as organic that way. So can you explain a little bit of just like the process that you go through to develop it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely, you're right. It's not, it's not simple.
Mm-hmm.
And even I'll preface that with, certainly you can do it. I mean, what we do is not rocket science. It's something that everyone should be doing, but it's also one of those things where you leave it to people who do it for a living.
Yes.
Just like most shops don't go out and build their own websites anymore, right? Or get their high school daughter's friend who knows how to work on websites to fix their
or
website
run their social campaign or whatever.
But yeah, because I've spent these last 10 years interacting with shops and learning, what's going on and how to talk to the techs and all. So we'll go out and we'll spend an entire day there. So we'll arrive, before opening, and we interview everyone. And it's documentary style, and there's an industry term, they call it a mini doc, because we're not going to do a Netflix series.
Yeah.
But we'll do a mini documentary series, and it's a system. I got described already the kind of the three legs of it. It's the shop owner story, how they got involved in the first place. It's the team story, why they love working there, why, what makes it about this place when they get up in the morning going like, yeah, I'm going to work, instead of another, well, I have to go to work today, that's a bummer. And the customers telling their story about like why they got there in the first place, and how amazing it is that they really love keeping to come there every day. And, being without your car is a drag. So it's not something everyone wants to do. It's like going to the dentist. But so what we do is we'll come out, we'll spend the entire day and interview everyone. We interview the shop owner or owners, all the partners and the entire team. And then we'll interview, everyone that comes and goes throughout the day. So we'll interview as many customers as we can get involved. We'll interview any partners that they have. So at a lot of shops, they're really good partners with their local towing company. So we'll have those guys come in, or their parts suppliers. We have Napa, parts delivery guys coming in all day long. And so we'll interview everyone that's involved, the UPS driver. And then this allows us to really craft a unique story so that you can, see exactly what happens in this shop. It's not, I call it anti-advertising, and, it is promotional and it's advertising, but, ads tend to be noise. And so when we create a storytelling type of environment, when you have an opportunity to kind of kick back, relax, and kind of lean in and listen to what's going on, there's actually some weird stuff that goes on in your brain about why storytelling works and why documentary videos work. For example, if I told you, hey, we've got this new movie that just came out, it's 8 hours long. People are like, no way, I'm never going to go watch an 8 hour movie. Really?
Yeah.
But then you jump on Netflix and you binge 8 hours of a series. Well, that's because you get into this whole storytelling thing. You start to, you start to engage with the characters in it. You're like, oh, I know that person. You know,
Yeah.
you start to develop a relationship with these characters that you really don't know, but you think you do, and so your brain kind of kicks in and it turns on oxytocin, which is they call it the empathy drug. So it makes you just want to know them more. I want to know more, and it gets to the point where storytelling allows you to really involve your audience that's listening in a way where they feel like they're part of the story. So it builds trust, it builds an engagement, it builds a memory and a lasting kind of thing where they know like, oh, I already know these people. If I've never even been there, they walk in the door the first time like, hey, Joe, how's it going? You know, and it's kind of amazing, you know, and so that's why we do this whole thing. It is actually is built like a system so that there's a way where now you can tell this story, your people are engaged, and there's a whole lot of other things behind it, the technology about SEO and everything that keep people on the website, and that's different than the storytelling, but it's a piece of that. You know, if you're going to sit there and watch a video for 2 minutes versus hit your website, I don't know, bounce. You know, that's like a 5 second thing versus even if you stick around for 30 seconds and watch the video, that improves your SEO an amazing amount more, right? And you know all about that stuff.
Yeah, and so we're actually going to let's talk a little bit more about the SEO aspects. Obviously, in terms of length of time, video makes a website stickier. It keeps the audience engaged. They watch it, and the longer they're on the website, the better it looks for Google. The more trustworthy your site seems, the better you'll rank. But now I know you have some certain elements and things that you kind of applied to a video that I think it's very interesting that the audience should learn about. So do you mind sharing a little bit about kind of the SEO techniques you have for like the post-production of once the video is ready?
Sure. So the secret sauce, that's what you want, right?
Exactly. If you're willing to share
it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not that secret. But yeah, I was privileged for a while back in the day. Another company I worked at had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with some of the Google product managers. And although they'll never really tell you what the algorithm is all about, right? I mean, I don't think anybody really knows for sure what it's all about. But they did spill their guts a little bit on, well, just think about the fact that, you know, the algorithm has really been here. Its whole purpose is to, you know, feature web properties that provide authentic content for their target audience. So, you know, a bowling website should have stuff that's interesting to people who want to go bowling, right? You know, and not full of stuff that says bowling, 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 bowling. You should go bowling at our bowling alley because bowling is cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's what video can do. And here's the reasons why. When you have a video on your website, I mean, just video in general, if you have a video on your website, Google knows that it's a video. I mean, they see a video and they know that there's a video content. And so they give you, you know, if you're looking at the, you know, there's one checkbox, video. People like video, they're going to stick around a while longer. And they give you that checkbox because they know that people, when they hit the site, they're going to consume that video longer than they would anything else. What we take that a little bit step further is that all that video content, first, you know, we do it in storytelling manner, in a documentary manner, so people definitely get to stick around long because they want to hear that story. But then we take the entire transcript of that video, so all that spoken word text, however long that video is, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, whatever they're saying, and we take that entire transcript and it gets injected as metadata right at the top of your website. And the original purpose of this is for ADA compliance, which is really important. I got to point that out. If you have a video on your website and you are not injecting the closed captioning, you're kind of open for, you know, there's some relatively unscrupulous people out there right now that are going after auto shops for ADA compliance issues. And a video that doesn't provide ADA compliance is a key problem. So this is one step to providing better ADA compliance because it gets injected right there for all the readers. But it just so happens that it's the first thing that Google spiders see as well too, right at the head of your website. You can't see it, but the spiders see it behind the scenes. That entire transcript of everything that's said in that video gets injected as metadata, it's keywords.
Yep.
So it gets tagged as a video, so Google knows that it's video. And then your title and the description of the video, which is for you to edit and update. That's kind of behind the scenes post-production stuff.
Yep.
So anything you put in the title and the description of the video that can be long, that also gets injected into the head of the website. So all of that content gets spidered, and Google will actually take, if they see a video prominently displayed on a website, they'll consider that a video page. So what that means to the normal person is that if you go do a search, you've got the multiple search locations. You've got your regular SERP results, but then you've got the videos tab. And a page that's a video page gets featured there independently with the thumbnail of the video, which is actually previewable, and the entire transcript of that video. So it gives you two options, and Google's certainly featuring video pages now anyways. Of course, it'll probably all change. But for the moment, anyways, Google is really prominently featuring sites that are considered to be a video page more prominently than they are others. So that's a really cool benefit from an SEO point of view. And we didn't strike out to produce an SEO product, but it certainly works that way. And it's great. I love it.
I love that, the way that you've explained it. Because again, content always is the king in terms of what Google reads. And so being able to also not only have the flexibility of having the video, keeping audience on there longer and getting that timestamp there, but then having the transcription of it, giving Google even more data and content to read. It's golden in my opinion. And this just kind of dawned on me and crossed my mind. But now this day and age of AI, kind of like ChatGPT and everything is like super prevalent. So at the end of the day, it's getting all this data has to get it from someplace in order to come up with this text and copy. And so naturally here, probably in the more near future than we think, a lot of the content is going to be very similar across a lot of websites, because people are all doing this sort of shortcut of getting the content that way. But a video is very dynamic in terms of like just and the words someone says. So it'd be
authentic.
Exactly. And it would be very hard to artificialize those words and turn it into the same. Granted, maybe one day, yes, I'm sure. But the way technology is moving, who knows what's going to happen? But at least in this day, I think it can clearly differentiate a shop from its peers by having.
Yeah, I've even recently, with ChatGPT, I'll go, do a query, and I'm amazed lately that it's returning results that are from my stuff.
That's super cool.
I said that. And so it's all right. I like that. And because they find it the same way that they'll find any other content. All the AI stuff is just searching, because all of your websites, all of your videos are searchable this way. If you produce the transcript in a readable format, your videos are searchable, which makes it super key. Another point to that too, not aside of the storytelling stuff, but let's say you're a European shop. And you focus on Volvos or BMW or whatever. A lot of shops have services pages. We work on these makes. So many of the shops that we're working with do things like they'll have on their makes page, their BMW page. We work on BMW, and whatever they say in that video is then specific to that page, and it's there to engage that audience. But it, again, is searchable. So everything about what they say in that video, whether they're coached or not to say certain things, is in the video content. So it's up to that shop owner to come up with that stuff, or your customers, and really that's again all the authentic stuff. The customers talking about, I've been bringing my Volvo here since 1995 when it was brand new, and they'll maybe mention the model number. I've got my 2002 Volvo V70R that's been coming here for 25 years now. If somebody does a search for who works on a Volvo V70R, that guy does. Right?
Exactly. Yep. There's definitely the little things that play such a huge role and benefit. And so now we're going to go into digging in a little bit on kind of the misnomers of video. So I know the elephant in the room
Mhm.
is always YouTube. Should it just be a YouTube video? Should we embed the video? Should there be some magic sauce on the video? Like, what
Mhm.
should it be? So I would love to hear your take and your opinion in terms
Sure.
of how that should be layered in there.
Yeah. So first, yes, absolutely, you should be putting all your video on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
No matter where your video comes from us. You know, whip out your cell phone and shoot it in the back of the shop and put it on Instagram or wherever. You should also be putting it in YouTube. Take all that stuff and put it in YouTube, because that's, you know, the second largest search engine in the universe.
Yes.
Having said that, however, people really shouldn't be putting YouTube videos on their website. As much as people think that, and we've had this discussion already,
Yep.
as much as people think that Google was going to favor a YouTube video, they really don't. And let's think about it. They can't. Just like they can't disclose what the algorithm is all about. If someone figured out that Google was favoring a website because it had a YouTube video on it, that would work in there. That would work against them.
Mhm.
So yes, YouTube embedded videos do some things because they probably know how the algorithm is working. So they do know some things about how to attract people better. Here's why it's not a good idea to have a YouTube video on your website. For one, they don't embed it in your website. They use an iframe, and technically that means that it's a picture into their player somewhere. So the content isn't on your website. It's not really spiderable. But the biggest thing is, I don't know about everybody else, but if I see a YouTube video, the first thing I do is I click on that YouTube link, or the one that says watch on YouTube. And we want video on our websites to attract people and keep them there. That's the first thing we talked about, right?
Yep.
We want them to stick around longer and visit our website and do all the wonderful things, whether it's an auto shop or a candy shop. We want them to stay there and buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We want them to make an appointment. If you go and click that button that says watch on YouTube, the next thing you're doing is watching, you know, cat videos or SpaceX or, you know, like I said, you know, I obviously do a lot of stuff with drones. So I end up watching 15 hours of drone videos. And then all of a sudden I realized I was on somebody's website trying to do something. Mm-hmm. Was it make an appointment? I don't know. I don't remember anymore.
Exactly.
And aside of that, even if they do stay on your website, if you notice when a YouTube video is done, there's other things there.
Yep.
Whether it's your playlist or, you know, ads or something that YouTube thinks that you're interested in, there's more stuff there. And it's stuff that has nothing to do with that shop or whatever business they are. So that, and it may be even your competitors. And that's obviously, you don't want your competitors' videos to show up in there. Mm-hmm. And that's possible too. You can actually put in, YouTube will allow you to pre-roll someone's video. What that means is that before you get to watch, and you've seen this when you watch a YouTube video, before you get to watch the video that you wanted to watch, you got to watch an ad. Mm-hmm. So those are called pre-rolls. So all you have to do is pay enough and you can pre-roll anybody's YouTube video. So if your competitor who knows that you're doing a lot of advertising and is driving a lot of traffic to your website, if they want to steal some of your traffic, they'll just pre-roll your YouTube video, and they might see an ad when they're watching, you know, how to make an appointment at my shop. First thing they see is a 15-second video from the shop across the street. It says, we've got a coupon today that's worth $100 off. Come over here instead. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going there. So, and it's even clickable too. So they'll click that ad and zip, they're off of that website and they're on to the other guy. So those are a whole lot of reasons why embedding a YouTube video on a website is a bad idea. And again, I have to reiterate that, like, I'm not saying that YouTube videos are not the way to go. You literally, if you're not putting your videos in YouTube, you're missing out on a lot of traction.
Yes, absolutely.
But don't embed those on your website. That's the only thing I can say about that.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, like we talked about a little bit about before, but this kind of definitely opened my eyes in terms of just like a different perspective on how it is. Yeah, I would say I fell into the belief that YouTube is Google owned, so why would they not favor it? Granted, we don't know, but I can easily see that.
Sure.
That if they got caught doing that, that'd be a big problem. But more so in the fact of getting distracted, because I know I, for one, am easily distracted. It's hard to stay organized, and so an everyday person definitely like they're watching a video like, oh, that's cool. Then the recommendation
Mhm.
pops up like, oh, that video looks cool too. Then boom, opens YouTube for them, and they just keep watching videos, and then they
Right.
never call you and make an appointment, and that defeats the whole purpose of all that
Exactly.
investment you took to get them there in the first place. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely, I think great knowledge point here, Patrick, in bringing up
Mm.
how to properly embed.
Sure.
So like, what if they're like, hey, I only know how to upload it into YouTube? What is there?
Mhm.
Should they automatically go talk to you, or is there someplace quick and easy they can be
Sure.
like, I can, you can just upload it in here, then and then embed it.
Yeah. 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 I'll make the other side of that too. So, um, a lot of people take that meaning that like, oh, I'm going to put the video on my website, and as you know, that's a bad idea
Yeah.
too, because if you load your video actually on your web server, it's going to slow it down immensely, and
Mhm.
Google gives a big thumbs down to slow
Yes.
websites. So, so no, don't put the video on your server at all. There's lots of platforms out there. Vimeo's another one. They do an okay job as well too. So just full disclosure, we use a white label version of a thing called Wistia. So Wistia is a video server. Their only purpose is video.
Mhm.
They don't do any advertising. It's all for business. It's B2B video. The whole point is that they give you a customizable and private video player that you can embed into a website. They're all about putting your video on your website. That's all they do.
Yep.
And it costs a little bit of money. We provide that as part of our service. So if you do service with us, we put all our stuff on this platform called Wistia and allow it to be embedded there. But you can also go out and get your own Wistia account as well too. We do also, shameless plug. We do work with some shops who actually don't use our services, and we just provide them with the Wistia platform as well. So you get some other benefits. We obviously we're giving you a lot of our expertise and how to embed things
Yeah.
and how
No,
to work
definitely.
with web hosting providers like you guys.
Yeah,
So.
perfect. And
All
that's
right.
all super cool. So this has been super knowledgeable for us today.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to talk about a little bit more about was in regards to like testimonials and kind of the power there that you've seen in
Yeah.
your experience. Because again, you like an owner sharing their story is fantastic. And I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone should share their story and be heard and understood. But at the same time, there's going to be those skeptical people like this person is just trying to get me to go there again. And
Yeah.
it's the owner talking about their business. And so that's why they're passionate about it. And
Mm-hmm.
now when we bring to the table customers that are passionate about it, it's like a whole nother level, at least in my opinion. So what would
Yeah.
be kind of your opinion in terms of like those testimonials that you're able to capture of
Mm-hmm.
customers while you're there and kind of the power that resonates from it?
Yeah, that's the gold. I mean, it's like I mentioned, we spend the entire day there, and in many cases, I will come back. So we'll, if there's this great customer or some team members that aren't available, we'll come back to get them because that's the big key. And again, it's the authentic kind of stories because let's face it, your best 5-star reviews, and that's what everyone's going for, right? The big 5-star reviews,
Yeah.
and your best 5-star review goes something like, been coming here for years. Now my kids bring their cars here too. Love it. You should come here too. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, and that's it. There's no emotion behind it. You don't know if they're authentic or not. You don't know if it's a real person.
Mhm.
But it's what everyone's looking for. They're looking for those reviews, and you'll find occasionally that the people who actually give you a story about the reviews are not the ones that you necessarily want because it's a lengthy story about what went wrong. So listen, when I go out to these shops and interview their customers, most shop owners, when I share the stories that we've compiled with their actual customers, are many times unaware of how much their customers love them, and they'll even hear stories they never even heard about. And again, it's authentic. So I'll sit down and interview a customer, and to create a short testimonial, which tends to be in the neighborhood of like 15 to 30 seconds. I'll sometimes have interviewed them for a half hour and hear these amazing stories. And sometimes they come out with things like, I broke down on the side of the road and the shop owner came out and, met me after hours in his personal car and he drove me to the hotel and, I was on the way to see my dying mother and he picked me up the next day and took me to the train and, you're, again, you're leaning in and hearing these really cool stories. That's the stuff that people hear and go like, oh, I don't know what they're selling, but I really want to work with this business. Mm-hmm. And invariably, I hear these stories over and over again from customers. Customer testimonials are the gold. It's the kind of thing where you don't have to really do any advertising or marketing. And that's again where I get back to how video storytelling is anti-advertising, because you hear these stories from your customers talking about why they love you, why they wouldn't go anywhere else. And they'll even share some things like, well, they're not the cheapest in town, but I love them. They're great. They always tell me what's exactly wrong, and they'll tell me things like, here's all the things that you need to look at. And, but they don't force it on me. They help me budget so I can, make sure I know what's going on down the road. And I know I can trust them. They use this word trust over and over again without being prompted. And those are the types of things that are invaluable. Yep. Getting customer testimonials are worth an untold amount of money. I mean, to do 4 or 5 of those are worth probably more than what we charge.
Exactly. So, well, because the most powerful form of marketing is word of mouth at the end of the day, because that means your services are so good that people are talking about you, sharing it with their friends and things like that. But having that on video allows you to just amplify the word of mouth without you needing them to talk about it. Like,
right, exactly.
Persons like it just blasts it on the web, they see it. And what we've realized is through kind of creating social campaigns around these testimonials, mm-hmm. is that people start feeling like that fear of missing out, of like, I saw my friend and that friend and that friend all at the show. Like, why are they all there? Like, why am I not there too? And so like, exactly. And even though it's only like 4 or 5 people that you really have, but as you're circulating these testimonials, mm-hmm. it just starts feeling like, whoa, well, there's so many people going there. I feel like I need to go there too. And so that's where I think, hands down, like, absolutely, you still need the written review in order for Google to make sure they're properly ranked, for sure. Like that. But getting both is, without a doubt, just such a super powerful tool to be able to do.
Well, adding in that too, like, going back to the fact that we've taken that entire testimonial and injected it.
Yep.
So that written part gets in there and searchable as well too. And the other thing too, we didn't talk about this earlier, but it's not just the customer testimonials. I mean, everyone's looking for text now, right?
Yep.
For recruiting, it's just amazing. I have a lot of shops now that are just, all they want to do is recruiting videos. Mm-hmm. Interview all the shops, all the team. And wouldn't it be great if you can send your entire team out to go visit all their friends and tell them why they love working there? And we've got an opening, you should come work here. But they're never going to do it, obviously, and that's not their job.
Yeah.
So those team testimonials, like, oh yeah, I got out of tech school and I started working here as an apprentice, and they put me, I worked with their master tech and they gave me my first toolbox, and I've been here 15 years now and I'm a master tech, and they sent me to all my ASCs, and if you're doing what most people are doing now, I mean, this 60,000 job posts in LinkedIn for auto technician. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's 60,000 guys out there looking for a job. And if you look at anybody's website, you've got a careers page and you're looking for an A tech and a B tech. And we have a great 401 program, and we've got a good salary program, and you only work these many days. And so does the next guy. Whereas instead you've got this video of your team going like, oh, this is great. We get lunch on Fridays. We do these team outings every once a month. And, I get access to the shop on the weekends, and I get to bring my dog, and all those things that really are important depending on the shop culture.
Yep.
And that's the kind of stuff that's gold also. So testimonials.
Yeah, and that's great. I as we were talking about this, I was like, yes, I need to bring that up too. So I'm perfectly glad that you brought that up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for employment, I think that it's a huge thing that people just don't. You always think about, okay, how can I market and get more customers? Mm-hmm. But you need to be able to support those customers with the right people. So marketing for the right people is also really important too. So I love that. That's another aspect that you can leverage video to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Patrick, I think this is quite a bit of knowledge that we've gathered just around video. I'm sure we could talk about this even more so. But for those that hopefully are still with us, what is just one piece of advice that you would recommend for them, that maybe if they're like scared to be in front of a camera, or they're just like still maybe a little bit unsure about video, like, well, what would you kind of say to them?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, whether you have, a professional come out and shoot your video, whether it's me or somebody else, it, it's obviously better to have a professional shoot it for you. But there's plenty of opportunity to shoot video in the back of the shop. Just do it. Just get out there and start producing video, whether you're interviewing your own team in the shop, or, maybe you've got someone in your shop who has fun doing it. That's great stuff for social media. But yeah, definitely using a professional, again, whether it's us or somebody else. It comes down to, just like every auto shop does also, great, there's DIY guys out there that do their own cars, but again, that you should bring your car to a professional to do the right work. And you've got a shop to manage, and a business to run.
Yep.
It's probably a better opportunity to find someone who does it for you. But regardless, you need to be using video. Video is the future of marketing. And it's not just my opinion. I mean, you can just type in video future of marketing and thousands of things show up. Yeah, it's fun. And like I said, I feel privileged to be able to go on, work with shops and help them bring up that level of the industry, showcasing what, a beautiful shop looks like. And so, yeah, it's, I think video's the way to go, whether you use us or somebody else, just kind of do it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Well, thank you again, Patrick. For those that may be interested to learn a little bit more, or maybe have a question about some certain things that we talked about, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Sure. Just visit the website, sparkinteractive.com. And there's plenty of samples there. You can see stuff we've done before. And there's a button that says contact us. Yeah, it's the way to go.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you all those that are listening still. Please, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. I'm Kelsey with Lyft Auto Repair Marketing, and thank you again for being here today.
Thanks, Kelsey. See you soon.